So if no more questions, let us continue with the next topic. And the next topic, before I begin the next topic, I just wanted to give you some idea. Let's so far we have seen a lot of topics in already about training, such as how to connect two systems. Let's say this is system 1 and this is system 2. Now I want to communicate, I want to make communication between these two systems. So whenever I'll say communication between two systems, I will be talking in terms of data, right? Because when you communicate between two systems, you actually transfer data from here to here or here to here. Because whenever, even let's say if we are communicating in real time, let's say real life also, when you say something, you are transferring the data in form of words, right? You're transferring some data to the other person, and then other person does what? He or she processes the data, kind of words, and then responds back. So every type of communication is just the exchange of data, right, from one system to the other system. Now we have seen couple of ways of communicating between the systems. What are those? Can you recall them? Let's say this is one SAP system. Exactly. So BTC is what? Very good. Somebody rightly said BDC is one of the way of communication between SAP to SAP or SAP to SAP system. So when you have to bring the data from non-SAP to SAP, or even from, let's say, flat file or anything, then you do what? From any software or any file, then you use what? A technique called BDC. Okay, what is BDC? BDC is used for batch data communication, which is usually used for uploading the data, batch data communication. Then we saw another topic called as BAPI, right? Recently we have finished this topic, and this topic is about business application programming interface. Okay, this is what? This is business application programming interface. This is nothing but another way of communicating between the systems. This is nothing but RFC function modules, remote enable function modules. All the BAPIs are what? RFC function modules. But not all RFC function modules are BAPIs. Okay, those things have already been covered in the topic BAPI. Now we want another way, and the way should be, as soon as I create data in one system, same data should go and get created in or replicated in other system also. Understand my requirement? What is BAPI? It is a bunch of data, bulk of data already created or available in the files, flat files such as Excel or text files or whatever files, CSV files. You just upload that data to your system. That is one activity wherein you upload the bulk amount of data into your system. Okay, with BAPI also you do what? Kind of similar thing, but just it is just an advanced way of doing the same thing. BAPI. Okay, here you go by recording screen by screen, here you go without screen. That is the advantage, and we have discussed all of those advantages in the topic of BAPI. Now my requirement is, as soon as I create data in SAP, one system of my SAP, it should go and create the data in other softwares also, or in other SAP systems also. Let's say I am having one system as SAP, another system as CRM, some other system as, let's say, some other third party non-SAP systems. So whenever, let's say, I create customer master here, it should go and create customer record in CRM system also, or vice versa. Okay, you are creating a system, let's say this is a CRM system. CRM means what? Customer relationship management. Okay, so this is your CRM system. Now your requirement is, as the moment you create record, customer record in your CRM system, it should replicate in SAP also. Okay, it should replicate in SAP also. This is your requirement. Now this is not similar to what we have seen, because in the previous examples what were we doing? We were uploading the existed, let's say, the data which is already in existence. Now you want real-time transactions to happen, right? The moment you click save button here, it should show save data. It is like saving data into databases. If I just talk about, let's say, simple terms, what you're doing is you're saying the moment I click save button, it should save data in my database and in someone else's database also. But can you directly save data from CRM system into the database of SAP? Do you have any direct, do you have access to the database of SAP directly from here? No, you cannot, right? Because it is underlying database of SAP and the CRM has got its own database. Now, what is the way then? Though you must be having a connectivity between the system so that that connectivity or that interface can be used to achieve this. Are you understanding the requirement? It can be the way also, it can be other way also. What is the other way? The moment you create data or the moment you do any transaction in SAP, the exact transaction should be replicated into other system, not necessarily CRM always. It may be not just one system. Okay, don't keep this picture in mind that it will always be CRM. It may be some other system also. So you may be having some other system also, parallel systems, and these systems can communicate in real time with each other. Do you understand what it means, real time? Real time means the moment the transactions are happening, you want same at the very same time you want transactions to be recorded in other system also. Let this make as SRM, supplier relationship management. Okay, or it can be some other third party software also for, let's say, some getting customer reviews or anything like that. So this is your requirement now. Are you guys able to understand the requirement in the first place? What is the business requirement? You must understand that first. So it can be two-way communication from here to here or from here to here, either way. Anyone has any question or doubt here until here? Yes, any questions? Are you able to at least understand what exactly the requirement may be, business requirement? Because see, because so far what we have seen, what we have been following is, unless we understand the business requirement and why the particular topic is or why the particular technology is needed, we do not jump onto the topic directly. First understand the problem the particular solution given by SAP solves. Then only you'll be interested to understand the solution, or you'll be understand to learn the solution. So this is the requirement, or this is the problem. Because with BAPI and BDC, what used to happen? Let's say if it has to be done by BDC, what will it be? We'll perform all the transaction in CRM for a week, and then you will download the data for a week in an Excel, and then you will use BDC to upload it. Similarly, you can use the BAPI. Let's say for every day, let's say you download all the customer records you created. Let's say you created 500 records per day. So you will download those 500 records in an Excel, then you will upload using BDC or BAP. This is not real-time transactions, right? You are creating the transactions for a day, and in the end of day you are downloading it and uploading here. That is not real time. My requirement is the moment I click save button here, it should go and create one customer in SAP also, or vice versa. The moment you create vendor here or some other data here, some master data material here, it should go and create one material data in SRM system also. That is my requirement. Now, is there any way to achieve this? Yes, there is a way, and the way that or the technique that solve this problem or achieve this is called as the technique of ALE IDoc, and this is our next topic. This is our next topic. Now, what is ALE and what is IDoc? We'll see. They are two different things combinedly provide the solution for the problem I explained you, or the requirement that is being explained just now. So what does ALE stand for? ALE means application linking and enabling. Application linking enabling. Now, as the name suggests, it is what? Remember that always. ALE is a technology. Remember this term always. It is what? It is a technology. When I say it is a technology, is it only specific to SAP? No, it is not just for SAP. Remember that it is a technology. Application linking and enabling is not just for SAP, because it is what? It is a technology. Understand it? Okay. And when do you use this? ALE is used when you want to communicate with the data between two applications, between two systems, between two softwares. Okay, you can use either terms. Applications, usually you'll have to use applications. Why? Because this is application linking. So what does ALE do? So you have, let's say, multiple applications, and you have the requirement that I explained, that requirement you want to achieve. So to communicate or to link between these applications, you use a technology called as ALE, application linking and enabling. So this is, let's say, your application 1. Okay, this is your application 2. This is your third application. So if you want these applications to communicate with each other, to get linked with each other, this is application 1, this is application 2, and this is application 3, let's say. So for these three apps to communicate with each other, you need what? You would need a way of connectivity, right? And the way of that connectivity is provided by ALE, application linking and enabling. Okay, application linking and enabling. So this is connected this way, then these two systems are connected this way, and these are also connected. Again, these are also connected with each other. Okay, and this application connection is achieved using what? Using ALE, application linking and enabling. ALE. Okay, so here is your ALE. Here your ALE will come into picture. Good. Now, why ALE? You may be wondering why ALE, why to use ALE. There must be why SAP has used ALE only, because ALE, I'll tell you why ALE. Let me write here. Because ALE incorporates control exchange of data messages, means it controls the data messages between the two systems in the encrypted format. Okay, the data, the see, this is very important. Let's say if the two companies, they've got their two applications residing in two different networks. So when you pass data from one application to the other application, there shouldn't be anyone who should be able to attack the data in between. Imagine the data is being passed from application 1 to application 3, and some hackers are attacking the data here itself, somewhere here. So before the data could reach to app 3, hackers have gathered that information in between only. Then it will be a great loss to a company, right? Because nowadays data is like kind of one of the most important thing for the companies, right? They may lose their customers, they may lose their business. All right, so the security of data is kind of a great concern. Are you getting it? So whenever you are planning to transform your data from one system to the other system, the first thing any company would want is the security of data. Okay, the security of data, so that anybody who even attacks the data in between, even if the data is gone, it should, first of all, it should not be able to here, somebody should not be able to attack. Even if it is being attacked and the data is accessed, the data should not be usable. It should be readable. It should be in the format that they will not understand. It should be encrypted. Do you understand encryption? Encryption means it will be encrypted in a format. Exactly. Exactly. It will not be in the readable format, normal readable format. That is, so ALE provides the security of data while being transferred from one system to the other system. Okay, and ALE provides what? A solution for based on a technique called distribution services or distribution system. Are you getting it? Distribution system means it is not connecting only one system. Let's say this application distributes the data, means it will create a distribution system wherein if the data is thrown from one app and you want to pass that data to 5 different applications, it will create the distribution system wherein the data will be transferred. Sender will be one and there will be multiple receivers. Getting it? Or they may be, let's say, application 1 may be receiving data from app 3 also and app 2 also. It is kind of, it forms what? It forms a distribution system. Okay, ALE works on the distribution system. Okay, so it always forms the distribution system, which makes it, okay, more easily transferring the data from, let's say, one application to multiple at a time, or from receiving data from multiple applications into one system. That is the job of ALE. Any question here? Okay. Now there is one more technique actually used for transforming data only. Let me explain you that as well. You may hear this term actually. Just giving you to understand the concept actually. There's something called as EDI, electronic data exchange. This EDI is also what? It is a technique. EDI is a technology. EDI is a technology when we are using non SAP system as one of the communication channel. Let's say if you are using non-SAP system as one of the communication channel, then you use what? EDI is a technology instead of ALE, because ALE is mainly for SAP property systems. Okay, as one of the communication channel. EDI stands for what? Electronic data exchange. Okay, so when two systems, let's say, let me draw a couple application here. So EDI will act as a communication way from non-SAP system, and ALE will be from SAP system. So if two applications or two systems, they are kind of communicating with each other. Let me redraw this once more here. So if these things are communicating, so if let's say application 1 is what, application 1 is SAP system, let's say SAP, and this is non-SAP. So from SAP side, it will be, the technology will be AI technology, ALE technology will be used, and from non-SAP side, it will be EDI. It will be EDI. Getting it? It will be, are you getting it, guys? This will use what? EDI. Now, this is just a technology, right? It is kind of, let's say, the mean of transferring the data. Using this, you transfer this actually kind of do what? Maintains the communication link between the two systems. So from SAP side, it will be ELE, let's say ALE, and from non-SAP side, it will be EDI. Okay. I told, right? Electronic data exchange. Oh, okay, you missed it. Electronic data exchange, I think. Electronic data interchange or interface. Interchange, I believe. Give me a second, let me check EDI. Any question, like any other question from anything? So it stands for electronic data interchange, right? As I said, EDI. Now, so this is what whether it is ALE or EDI, they are kind of just providing the linking facility, kind of they are linking the two applications. But what is the ultimate goal of linking the two applications? You need to transfer the data, right? You are willing to transfer the data, right? As I started, why are you linking these two applications? So that you can transform the data from app 1 to app 2, or from app 2 to app 1, from SAP to non-SAP, or non-SAP to SAP, with whichever way. But the ultimate goal is transferring the data. So these applications, these are the technologies used to link the application, not to transfer the data. And to transfer the data, we have to use a container, right? A kind of container, like kind of message box, kind of message, right? So that container is nothing but your IDoc. What is IDoc? It is nothing but, IDoc stands for intermediate document. What does it stands for? Intermediate document. IDoc. Okay. Do you want me to write the full form for this? IDoc stands for intermediate document. Getting it? The document which is being transferred, intermediate, right? Are you guys able to understand this? Spelling mistake. Intermediate document is nothing but your IDoc. The IDoc stands for intermediate document. And this IDoc is nothing but the data. It carries the data. So what is the process going on here now? You are first linking the two applications using the ALE from SAP side and EDI from non-SAP side. Okay, and then you are transferring the data in the form of IDoc, and collectively these things, ALE and IDoc, is the solution to the problem, or to solution to achieve that particular requirement. Understood what is ALE? What is IDoc? Did you have an idea now? What is ALE? What is IDoc? Exactly. So these are what? These are technologies to link the applications. This is actually the this is actually the data. What do you, how do you perform the, how do you transfer the data from one system to the other system? In the format of IDoc. So IDoc will have the actual data. Okay, good. So let us continue. If that is clear, great. Then let us continue with the next part. Now what I'm saying is, now see, because an IDoc can be what? IDoc is what? Yeah, actual data being transferred from one system to the other system. Okay, so they may be, let's say there are two systems. Let's consider two systems only now. So now we'll talk in the perspective of SAP. So let's say this is SAP, okay, and this is non-SAP application. All right. Now the data has to get transferred from SAP to non-SAP or non-SAP to SAP, either way. So the link will obviously be created by either of the two technologies, like two technologies, from SAP side ALE and from non-SAP side EDI. Okay, so the link has been established. Now I'll talk in the perspective of SAP. So when you are throwing the data out of SAP to non-SAP, it is called as outbound process. Remember, have you heard of this term? Outbound process, inbound process. Have you used this term any time before? Can you recall it? Yes. Okay, no problem if you're not. If the data is going from SAP to non-SAP, it is kind of out. The data is going out, so it is called as outbound process. What is it called as? Outbound process. When the data is going out of SAP system, this is called as outbound process. When the data needs to go out of SAP system, it's outbound process. Okay, you can say it, outbound process. Okay, remember this, outbound, actually outbound process. For the, if you just think the same thing from the other perspective, because when the data is going from here, it must be reaching somewhere, right? So here it will be called as what? Here it will be called as receiving. And when it is exactly reverse, when the data is coming in, when the data needs to come into SAP system, it's nothing but inbound process. It will be an inbound process actually. Understand what is outbound, what is inbound? Guys, are you able to understand? Okay, simple, right? When the data is going out of SAP, we are talking in terms of SAP, guys. Remember that, as I told you, we are talking in terms of SAP, because what is outbound for SAP may be inbound for the other application also, right? So remember that we are talking about SAP in terms of SAP. So when data is going out, it will be outbound process. When data is coming in, it will be an inbound process. Okay, good. Now the IDoc has a spatial structure. The IDoc has a very spatial structure. The IDoc is divided, the data, let's say the IDoc is structured in such a way that it has got three important records. Okay, three things that need to be transferred, three things that need to be informed to IDoc. Okay, and those are control record, data, I'll explain you each, don't worry, data record and status record. So when you see the actual structure of IDoc, how does it look like? It has got three types of records. Now what are these three types of records? I'll tell you. See, just imagine you have to post something. Just imagine the days when people used to post the messages, right? Postcards, posting, right? You know that, right? So what used to happen when the postman has to take your postcard from your home and deliver it to someone? What are the information that you need to mention on your postcard? Tell me. You need to mention the receiver's. Exactly. You'll have to mention the address, the exact address of the receiver. Are you getting it? And inside that you will have what? The actual data. Actual data means the information, the message that you want to, that you wanted to actually deliver to the receiver. So that is nothing but your actual information. And whether that postcard has been delivered to the receiver or not. These are the three things you will worry, right? These are the three things that you will look whenever you will transform the information or data. Like now imagine the transferring, your sending your message, sending the message from your mobile to someone. What are the things required? The receiver's number, mobile number. If you're sending on the mobile number, if you are sending an email, then you need what? Email address. So that is nothing but the address for the receiver, right? So that when you send a message, it should not go to wrong receiver. What is important? When you send a message, it should be delivered to the person you want to send the message to. Are you getting it? Okay. What I'm saying is, whenever you have to send a message or email, you need the exact address of the receiver. Then only the message will be delivered to the correct person, right? Now, these type of records are kind of same thing. So control record has the, it will be only, it will always be one control record. Remember that it will always be one record. Why? Because this will have the information, technical information about the overall IDoc. What is the receiver's address? We technically call it as part number file. Okay. What is the username, ID, password? Like all these things will be part of control record, and it will always be one per IDoc. Remember that control record will always be one per IDoc, because you will have only one, let's say, header kind of information to the, for the IDoc, required for the IDoc. Now this can be 1 is to n, means it is the actual data. So you may transfer one customer at a time, you may transfer 10 customers already created in SAP, that also you can transfer. So coming back to example here, okay, this is the real-time use of, what do you say, IDoc. But not necessarily, it doesn't mean that whatever data is already, let's say you have created 10 customers and 5 of or 9 of them have already been created, let's say in last half an hour. It doesn't mean you cannot transfer them using IDoc. You can definitely transfer them as well using IDoc. You can transfer either real-time data or the already created data also. So don't make an impression that it will be used for only real-time data. So it will have what? 1 is to n record. So if you want to transfer, sorry, one record, then data record will have only one record of the detail. Otherwise you can have multiple records also. And whether the system has transformed your data successfully or not, or whatever the error, whatever the problem it has faced, those will be reported into your status record. Getting it? It may be zeros to n. It may, you may have, sorry, 1 is to n or 0 is to n, you can say. Getting it? So you will have either success or any error formed or any issues faced, that will all be found in the status record. So status record, we're looking at status record, you can make sure whether the IDoc received at the receiver's end or not. Was there any problem? What is the problem? That you, the message will also be given to you. What exactly the problem faced during the transfer of the data, transfer of the record data using IDoc. So these are the three important records in an IDoc. Every IDoc you see, they'll have these three types of records. One is control record, the other one is data record, and the other one is status record. So these three records collectively form an IDoc. Understood what is IDoc? It is nothing but, let's just imagine this is a container. I'll kind of try to draw your picture. Okay. So let us say you are trying to transfer the data in this format. So let's say this is your IDoc. Okay. Just trying pictorial representation. It is not exactly the way I'm drawing. Okay. Don't get an impression that it will be like this. So the upper part, let's say, is for control record. So it is, let's say here you have what? Control record. Only one record. Here it will have what? Information about the receiver. That what type of message you are transferring. Message type. There is something called as message types in IDocs. Okay. When we'll send you the study material, when we'll upload the study material to your student portal, you will have, you can go through the material and understand the topic. And if you still have questions, you can come back to us. Okay, so I was explaining control record. Then we have what? Data record. Data record will is nothing but the actual data that needs to be transferred. Okay, so this is nothing but the information. What type of data, what kind of data? Let's say if you are transferring the material master record, so this will have the detail. The control record will have the detail. It will have something called as message type, the name of the message type. So what type of data you are transferring, to whom you are transferring, what is the IP address, what is the other details of the receiver, and all of that kind of partner profile detail will be in the control record. Then you have what? Data record, the actual data. Let's say you are transferring material master, so it will have material number, material type, material industry sector, material group, material description, quantity, whatever it is. The details about the material will be in the data record. Then you will have what? You will have in the end have what? Status record. So in the status record, what exactly the status of the data being transferred. Okay, so you may have what? Let's say you may have typed wrong receiver address. So will it go and get received? No. So you should know that the document has not been, let's say document is not sent, the IDoc is not sent, there is some error status, partner profile address is incorrect, or there is something wrong with the data format, or whatever the issue is, connectivity issue, network is down. All these things, or network, they may be network down at receiver end. You may be having, let's say, Wi-Fi enabled or data things running on your system, but it may not be true at the receiver's end. So the IDoc will not be received. But how will you know that the IDoc is not received? You will have to go and check your status record. If the status record says, it will have what? Status codes. Okay, remember that status record has got status codes, like it will have 01, 02, 03. So each of these 0 until 01 to 53, or some like until 50 plus to 70, there are some status codes reserved for the type of error, the type of issue actually. Are you getting it? Any question, guys, until here? No question? Good. Great. So we were discussing what ALE IDoc as the topic. All right. So this is the kind of introduction for ALE IDoc topic. We'll walk through few transactions. We'll see few transactions that are used to work with these complete system. Now to just give more detail about the same, let me go back to this slide. Now what I said is from ALE, from SAP side it will be ALE, from non-SAP side it will be EDI. So that is all technology things. Okay, now when you have to send data from, let's say you are somewhere here, you are in the SAP system and you are using this app 1 and you want to transform your data to app 2 and app 3. Okay, so you will have to do what? You will have to first create the record, the information about the system. It's kind of, let's say, saving the receiver's address. If you have to send message to somebody, what you need to have, you need to have their record saved in your system. Getting it? Your mobile should have their numbers stored, right? Or you should have their numbers in your system and your mobile. And let's say in terms of application, you should have the part number file, and it is not that simple actually. In case of mobile, even if whenever, let's say, you may save a number and may not save a number, you can send them the data, because the data is not as important as business data, right? Imagine losing a customer of million USD. That cannot be afforded by a company. So they simply do not send the data to any unknown users or unknown applications, right? So first you need to create the data for the all these receivers in the SAP system, and we technically call them as RFC destinations. Okay, we will understand these terms when we'll grow in the topic. Okay, we'll have one more session for this second session where I'll explain you how do you create these things practically in the system. All right, and we'll upload the same to your student portal so that you can access it from there, the recorded lecture and the study material. All right, so SAP application 1 will then have what? Records created for these things, we technically call them partner profile. You are creating what? First you will have to maintain the RFC destination and then create the partner profile for them. Partner profile, because you are kind of treating them as your partners, because when you send the data from one application to the other application, the details of these partners must be verified and stored somewhere in the SAP. Okay, and we create kind of partner profile for these two, and when we actually send an IDoc, we actually define to whom you are sending it in the control record. Okay, so that the information is not sent to mistakenly sent to any wrong party, wrong partner. Okay, any question guys, anyone? Good. So let us stop here if no questions, and we'll see the practical part of the same in the next session.